بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين وأصحابه المختارين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In this video, we are going to talk about the art of knowing yourself. I am is the most powerful word. I am uncertainty. It's the most powerful word. Why? Because it is identity statement. Everything around you moves to support that statement in your unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind working 24/7 to make your identity statement a reality. You have to become aware of how you label yourself. Why? Again, because how you label yourself, your subconscious mind or unconscious mind will work to fulfill up this statement. So if you label yourself as a successful doctor, then everything around you and your unconscious mind will work while you are awake, while you are asleep to fulfill up this criteria as successful doctor or successful engineer. But what about your kids? What about your husband, your wife? So you have to label yourself and you have to put the priority on your label. So if you stand in front of the mirror once a week and you look to yourself and say, I am a successful mother. I will be a successful mother and, and a successful wife and successful engineer. That means your priority, the first priority is your kids. Your kids grow up, then you will stand in front of your mirror and say, I am a successful wife, successful mother, and successful worker. Then your priority now is your husband. What about if you are not married, or even if you are married but you are in post-grad situation where you have to work hard to achieve certain point, then your labeling yourself will be, I am successful engineer and successful in my family as a wife or as a mother. So the priority in this situation will come. So our priority, it change with the change of the situation. Change your identity, change your life. Clarify who you are. Choose your identity, believe it deeply, and live it boldly. Let us ask ourselves a question. What is self-awareness? Self-awareness is a mirror which is reflecting what is inside. Do you see yourself as a tiny, weak, afraid, incapable? Or you see yourself grandiose, over capable of all of the things, feeling that you are the strongest, the most powerful, or you see your reality. So in order to change behavior, whether this behavior it is unwanted behavior, or you want to improve certain wanted behavior, you have to see the behavior. Self-awareness is a mirror, it's reflecting your awareness to become to be able to change any behavior. First of all, you have to see this behavior. You have to be aware of it. In order to improve your capacity for self-awareness, you must become aware how you judge yourself. Because judgment, what it's going to do, it's going to hide the unwanted behavior, and you will hide it once you judge yourself that this is a bad attitude or bad behavior. I am a bad person, I am a loser, then this is will be hidden. So bad judgment for yourself will hide the unwanted behavior. And how you will release the pressure of you will start uh, attacking the people who is having the same behavior you have and you don't want. So you will attack the undesirable behavior in other people. As you develop self-awareness, you will be know when the evaluator judgments happen and fight back against it, and you will gain the real awareness about yourself. Self-awareness is defined by having a clear perception of your personality, including your strength, weakness, thought, belief, motivation, and emotion. Self-awareness allows you to understand other people, how they received you, your attitudes, and your response to them in the moment. By understanding your strength, you know what you do well. Understanding your weakness, you know acknowledged area you can improve. By understanding your thoughts, recognize your inner dialogues. And by understanding your belief, you understand what you truly value. And you understand your motivation, know what drives you forward. And emotion, be aware of what you feel and why. When you know yourself, you can grow yourself. When you understand yourself, you can best understand the other. So better decision, stronger belief and relationship, personal growth, and inner peace. The more you understand yourself, the more you will be able to be aware about the other people, how they perceived you, how they understand you. Be aware of your attitude and manage your response in the moment. So, creating self awareness, better relationship, and more confidence you are. Clarify who you are, choose your identity, believe it deeply, and live it boldly. The ego is the false self created by unconscious identification within the mind. Accepting the moment and live the now is very difficult for the ego. The ego it's live either in the past or in the future. In the past, a mental image you form of who you are based on your personal and cultural condition, what your parents want from you, what the culture and the society see you, education, you are highly educated or you are low educated, you are not allowed to say these things, you are allowed to say these things, you are not even able to dress in certain situation like what you want. Why? Because the culture and your education it should be in certain way. Your belief, your condition, all this created the ego, it created the false picture. The ego is fed itself from two negativity, either from negative thought from the past or from the anxiety of the future. The ego is the present moment hardly exists. Only past and the future consider important. The future is full of goal, it's full of achievement, but also it's full of anxiety and fear. So the ego, if you want to get rid of the ego, you have to accept the moment to be able to be present in the moment. You will have the peace in mind and in heart. So to live the now, to live happy, to have peace in mind, you have to get rid of the ego. We will learn steps how we can reduce the ego and try to live the moment. So if the ego fed itself from the past, can we get rid of the past? Simply, most of the people they will answer you, I cannot forget the past. The past is the base of the present. Because the past, I am here now. The past causes frustration because a lot of regression, mistake, missed opportunity, pain in the past. Here the ego fed itself from it. So you will not be able to get rid from the past, but you can manipulate the past. You can live the now. How you can manipulate the past? Look at your experience from objective point of view. Look to the past and analyze it. What is good? What chance you miss? What were the strengths that you used? What option you miss? What were the resources? And what you could done different? what were the lesson you learned. So when you rehearse the past between you and yourself and between you and the other, the first statement you can say, the lesson I learned from the past experience is blah, 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 blah. I missed an opportunity, but because there is no resources, I was young, I didn't have good judgment at that time. So I listened to learn from that is that 1, 2, 3, 4, and here your brain will change the missed opportunity or pain and regression into a chance for improvement by bringing the lesson to learn. So you just play with your ego, you change the statement of regression and pain and frustration and failure to experience which have something good in it, something bad in it, but I learn a lesson. So change the past to listen. Internal joy coming from reducing your ego. The ego feeds itself from negativity to survive, and it seeks to distinguish itself from others, but to be richer, more successful, better, more important. The mean told that the strengthening the ego is complaining, constantly complaining. If you are in the school, complaining. If you are in vacation, I'm fed up, I'm lazy, I feel incompetent, I'm doing nothing. If you are in the school, I'm overloaded, I'm doing a lot of work. Controlling by your inner voice, the ego convinces you it is right. um, Negative thinking feeds the fear and doubt and limitation. Judging the other, the ego is still constantly judging the other, telling you that you are superior to them in your thinking, in your family name, in your money. It feed itself also from telling you that you are right. You are right by everything. The method justifying the end result. So cheat. Why not to cheat? If you cheat, you will end up by a good result. You will pass the exam. So it justify for you all the wrong thing which can happen. Giving power to the negative emotion, anger, pride, resentment. Yes, you have to be angry. You have to take your revenge from these people who hurt you. Not controlling your mind, reacting instead of choosing. You don't act, you react. So your action is a reflection for the other people action, which is not supposed to be your action. It should be reflection for your inner voice. Ego lead to the hopelessness and self-destruction, stress and regret and burnout. To get rid of the ego, first of all, we know the tool the ego is using. So you should stop negative emotion and negative thought so you can enjoy your life. And we'll have separate video about negative thought and how we can rid of it. The result is internal joy, peaceful mind. If you get rid of all these tools, if you identify it, then you know that this is your ego, it's not you, then you get rid of it, then you will have peaceful mind, calm, clear, and control. Self-acceptance, living the moment, connection, not comparison. Uh, uh, you have a positive emotion, gratitude, love, joy, passion. Focus on the growth, purpose, learning, and contribution. Freedom from the past, live in the present, and hope, the confidence and self mastery. A life, live in the moment and fulfill out all your life. Most of the people, they are identifying themselves through their thoughts and through their emotion. I feel anxious, I feel hurt, they are judgmental, I am under pressure, a lot of criticism, I am a failure, I feel angry, I'm not any good enough, I didn't study well. So anything outside their control and didn't meet the target which they were thinking that they will do, they will say that they are the victim of the surrounding people, and there is a conspiracy to fail me, conspiracy to put me down. So they feel like something that happened to them, life is unfair, people, they hate me. To be able to get rid of this, you have to get rid of the ego. Again, the ego is the one which is feeding itself from negativity. You have to choose to focus on what is really happening, analyze it, be aware of yourself, be aware of your thoughts, take responsibility. If something went wrong, go back, analyze why these things went wrong, what I did wrong, what I did good, what I did bad, how I could improve to get end up with a different result. You have to self-empower yourself, positive emotion, focus in what you can control. I create my thought, I choose my response, I shape my life. So life becomes smoother and greater. As long as you have certain desire about how it's supposed to be, you cannot see how it is. If I'm expecting people to act and react, that means I'm not in the present moment. To be able to be live in the present movement, you have to get rid of the past. You have to think and pause, think, am I thinking now in the present, or I am dragging all the past experience to my situation now? So you have to release the past. Past, it is changing your action and interaction with the other. So if you are entering a new relationship, if you are every day you are entering to your work, you have to keep in mind that this is a new day with a new achievement, with a new everything new in this day. So don't think that what happened yesterday, it is going to happen today again. Now we control our ego. So to be more self-aware, we should develop and understand ourselves in many areas. The key area for self-awareness is including the personality trait, your strength, weakness, preference, and tendencies, the personal value, what is important in life, your belief, what's your standard and your purpose, the habit, daily routine, good habit, bad habit, and how we could control it, and emotion. Identify your emotion, understanding the triggering, are you reacting or acting? And the more you know yourself, the better your life will be. Better decision, stronger relation, and personal growth and inner peace. Personal traits are the relative stable characteristics that influence how we think, feel, behave, and interact with others. Example for it like confidence, openness, empathy, patience, optimization, adaptability, assertiveness, emotional stability, and sociability. This is what we call more or less strong part of the emotional intelligence. Is this personal trait can be changed? Yes, can be changed, but you have to work hard on it to change it. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, إنما الحلم بالتحلم والعلم بالتعلم. That you can be patient by training yourself to be patient, and you can learn if you train yourself to learn. To be more self-aware, you have to identify certain things like value, habit, and more. It's important that each of us, focus on our personal value. When we focus on our value, we are more likely to accomplish what we consider most important. Value, it's different. My value different from your value, from her value. So each of us, he have to put a list of valuable things for them. The valuable thing is value, it's your relation with God. It is value. I'm doing my prayer. I'm doing it very fast, very quick, running here and there, and doing the prayer in between. And I know that this is not fulfilling up my value, is the relation with my God. So I keep certain thing. reading part of Quran, our holy book. What else? Maybe istighfar, tasbih. This is a value. And if I didn't meet my value, develop the habit to repeat certain thing daily, recurrently to fulfill up my value. If I don't do it, then I will feel that I'm not fulfilling up my value and I don't have a peace of mind. Other value, my parents. Parents is a very good value. You put a value that you have to visit your family, your parents once a week at least, maybe call them every other day to be sure that they are well. They are the one who grow you up. They have you are the continuation of them, so you mean a lot for them and they mean a lot for you. A lot of emotion have been hidden with the exhaustion of life running up behind your work, behind your kids, behind your supermarket, a lot of things. And by the end of the day, you will discover that you didn't fulfill up this value, which is taking care of the people. Even they are rich, they have servants, everything is there, but you are not there. So be sure that you fulfill up this value and you put it as a value and label it as value. So when you didn't do it, you know that you didn't fulfill up this value. Your kids, I'm giving them, bringing food, going to the work, I'm doing my part. Your part is to be part of their life. So they are valued because they are the continuation of your present. And this value, it's if you didn't give it a real nutrition and water and air, it will fade and it will not be strong and grow as you want it to be grow. So remember that your value is not only to bringing food and money, your value is to grow them with love. So value, we have to understand our value, we have to fulfill our value, and we have to label our value to be able to needs. Needs driven our life and they shape our thoughts, emotions, and behavior. When needs are met, we thrive. When the needs are neglected, we struggle. Understanding our needs, nourishing them, live more meaningful life. So when we understand and fulfill our need in a healthy way, we create a life of purpose, balance, and the true well-being. There is certain psychological need, they driving our behavior, like esteem, the need to feel good about ourselves and be valuable by others. Affection, need to love, care, emotional connection. Respect, need to be treated with dignity, recognitions, and consideration. Belonging, need to feel accepted, including and part of the group, included as part of the group or community. Achievement, need to accomplish a goal and experience sense of the competency and success. Self-actualization, need to realize our full potential and becoming the best version of ourselves. The power, we need to influence, impact, and make things happen. Control, we need to have autonomy, make a choice, and feel in charge of our life. So when we have a need, they push us to take an action and get a goal and keep moving forward toward achievements. And when the needs are not satisfied, they can cause frustration, conflict, and distress. Frustration, feeling of dissatisfactions and hopelessness. Conflict, tension in relationship, stress, emotional strain that affected mental and psychological well-being. So meeting our need, bringing a balance, and neglecting them, bringing imbalance. Our habit are the behavior that we repeat routinely and often automatically. Although we'd like to possess the habit that help us interact effectively with and manage others, we can probably all identify at least one of our habits that decrease our effectiveness. If you are one of the parents and always you are taking the decision, even with the color of the clothes which your kids will wear when they are going to the party, will reduce their self-confidence and they will make them always dependent on you, even in a small thing. Even if you control their budget, and giving them a small amount every day rather than giving them the budget of the week. So it gradually you train them to be self-dependent. But if you take over and you decide to give them day by day, one day they will lose it, the next day will take care of it. So your aim by every action you do for your kids is to train them. If you are a boss or a manager and you decide to not to take the opinion of your employee in any decision you are taking, so will reduce your staff commitment to the decision and their decision making skill as well. So you create follower, you don't create a future leader. Understand your emotion, your own feeling, what caused them, and how they impact in your thought and action. And this is what we call as whole understanding and the impaction as emotional self-awareness. All the feelings starting by happiness, grateful for the things and the moment, worrying and a lot in the mind, frustration, sadness. Note what am I feeling? Understand what causing this feeling. Is it the feeling coming from the living in the present movement, or it's the frustration, sadness coming from the past, or it is the worrying coming from the future? Understand how this feeling impact affecting the thought and the action, and choose how do you want to respond to this feeling. So why to develop self-awareness? Know yourself, understand yourself, and transform your life. As you develop self-awareness, you are able to make changes in the thought and the interpretation you make in your mind. And this is create a clear thought leading to better choice and better action, and allowing you to change your emotion. When you change your thinking, you can change how you feel. And will lead to better emotion and lead to better relationship and better well-being, which is reflected in better decision. You make a choice that aligning with your value and goals, and stronger relationship, understanding yourself better, so you are understanding other better, greater resiliency, you manage challenges and bounce back on more easy, and more confidence, you trust yourself and your ability. A purposeful life, you live with intention and stay focused on what truly matters. So the more you know yourself, the more you can grow up yourself. And remember that self-awareness is one of the tributaries of emotional intelligence and an important factor in achieving success. Everybody know now is talking about emotional intelligence. Socrates say thousands years that the greater knowledge is to know yourself. So can we improve our self-awareness? Self-awareness is a key to a personal growth and better decision and healthier relationship and more meaningful life. We must become aware of how we judge ourselves and how we are judging the other, and how this judgment impact in our growth. Awareness is the first step to change and grow. You have to understand how our brain is thinking. There is two ways of the brain to think. There is logical and objective way based on fact and helping us evaluate, learn, and make wise decision, and this supporting the growth. And this is what we call the physiological frontal lobe judgment, or what we call the logical judgment. And there is an emotional based response, which is driven by fear, guilt, and past experience, and harsh and critical and limited, and lead to shame, defensiveness, and self-sabotage, and block the growth and the potential. And this is responsible about it, the limbic lobe. So if you can distinguish between the two way of thinking, every time you are thinking, you should ask yourself, am I thinking in a logical way or an emotional way? So if you can distinguish, you will have a better self-understanding and better, healthier relationship and continue to grow. If you fail to distinguish at certain particular time between the two, you turn your ability to judgment against yourself and the other. And this lead to self-criticism and guilt and judging the other people harshly, sabotage and regret and damage the relationship. There is a certain way to improve your capacity for self-awareness. Whenever you are thinking, pause and observe. Take a minute to think. Am I using my logical thinking or the emotional thinking? Question your judgment. Ask, is this fact or use just on emotion? I feel. If it is big issue and you want to start a new project or you want to, this is a big thinking, you have to write it. Write your thoughts and understand your pattern and think, is what I am writing here, after you write it and read it as if somebody else writing this information, you can look to it and critique it and say, are they using the logical thinking or they are using the emotional thinking. Practice self-compassion. Be merciful to yourself. Don't be harsh on yourself. Being harsh on yourself is not going to take you anywhere. Seek feedback. Listen to trust. Listen to trusted people and open a new perspective. Trusted people could be your friend, a relative, mother, father, sister, brother, or a close friend. In work, you should have a senior people who is having more experience. You could take their opinion. Committed to the growth, self-awareness is a lifelong journey and not a destination. So self-awareness is not about perfection, it's about progress. The more aware you became, the more freedom you creating in your life. Self-awareness skill, creating safe space for you, learn how to become responsible for your action, free of guilt, fear, or resentment. What self-awareness created for you is a space where you can be honest with yourself. Responsibility, how you take ownership of of your choices and your action. Freedom, where you are free from guilt, fear, resentment. Growth, you learn to adjust and become your best self. And inner space, where you act clearly, confident, and compassionate. What you gain understanding your thoughts, emotion, and triggers. You gain to make a conscious choice aligning with your value and to build a healthier relationship and to be safe, focus on your goal and purpose and live more authentic and meaning life. How it work? Observe yourself without judgment, understanding your pattern and belief, take responsibility for your action, and choose the growth over guilt. So a safe space within you create better life around you. Self-awareness is not about being perfect, it's about being honest. It is about learning, growing, and becoming the best version of you. The choice is yours. If you fail to distinguish between the two way of thinking and judgment, are you using the emotion or the logical brain? We turn our ability to judge against ourselves and others. Remember that the emotional brain is gaining its judgment from the parents' power, the belief and the standard we learn at home, society, the normal and the expectations we about, the school, the rule, regulations, comparison and experience, regulation and authority. And this is not all of it. you have to understand a lot of these things you gain is good, but there is something in between in these things. It's precipitating fear, guilt, anger, and anxiety. So if you're reflecting in your emotion, you are reflecting in the emotion which you don't want from these things. So how we reacting to this inner image? The inner partner judgment our emotional inner child as wrong or bad, feeling victim of circumstances and other people that are beyond our control. We feel hopeless to change them. We become defensive and deny our behavior and our habits and our action, and blaming other for the situation we have created. And we, at the end, we are the one who is suffering the frustration and asphyxiated our growth and our emotion. If you if you are able to distinguish between the logical brain and the emotional brain, and you identified it and distinguish it and suppress the emotional and motivate the logical brain, the power of the awareness and changing everything, distinguish the understanding the difference between the healthier judgment and the negative emotional based judgment. Choosing awareness, giving you the power to pause, reflect, and respond within wisdom. You will let go for the heat, for the anger, resentments, revenge. Free yourself from the past and its limitation, and grow. Take responsibility, make choices, and create a life to truly want. You have the power to choose. Judge with compassion, live with awareness, and grow with the limit. So awareness is freedom. Freedom is growth, and growth is life. Relationships are easy until there is emotional confusion. When you use your emotional interpretation, or you are not using your logical feeling, you are using only the emotion, there will be a misunderstanding and turning into argument, reactivity, assumption. Your ego will take you for the past, not only your past experience, from the past experience of other who always telling you this their story, and you will start to interpret it, whether we are talking about the work, or we are talking about the relationship and friendship, or the marital relationship, or even your relation with your brother, sister, and family. The new visibility begin when you responding with the understanding, empathy, seeking with the clarity and response, seeking to understand before understood. You building a relationship with a trust, you creating a life filled with a meaning and connections. So the power of self-awareness, see your emotion clearly, understanding your trigger, choosing your response, and create connection, not conflict. When you change your emotion, you change your words for better communication, stronger connection, a deeper trust, and more peace and love and joy and responsibility. You have the power to transform your relationship from confusion to connection, from pain to peace, and from limits to possibility. Your journey to the healthy relationship, starting by pause, think, am I thinking in the emotional brain, or I'm being taken over by my ego? Understand the other to be understood, and you choose and connected and grow. Remember, you cannot control other, but you can change how you feel, and change everything. Feeling is changing everything. It will be reflected in your voice, in your action, and in your interaction. Awareness is the root, reflection is the water, and growth is the result. When you pause to reflect, you gain the power to choose your direction. You become the author of your life. So now we develop the self-awareness, and we should know, is self-awareness is going to reflect it on the other. We know now it is reflecting on us and how we grow ourselves, but how the self-awareness is reflected on other. When you have low self-awareness, you react to the other. The less you are self-aware, the more your action will be reflecting on the other people. Their criticism, their mood, their attitude, their word, their behavior, their opinion. Your action are a reaction. So it's not an action, it is reaction. It is reflection on the other emotion and then the other behavior. Easily to be offended, emotionally responses, seek approval, blaming and judgment, stress, and frustration. And that's what we call outside in. So you let the outside world controlling your inner world. Where if you have a high self-awareness, you choose your response. The more you are self-aware, the more your action will not be reflection of the other people. You are reflecting on your own value, your belief, your purpose, your principle, and your goal. So your action coming from within you, not response. It's not reaction. It is an action. It's an emotional balance. Stay turned to your value, understanding, not judging, and inner peace and respect. And this is what we call inside out. So you act from your inner world, not from the external influence. So self-awareness is the space between the stimulus and the response. In that space you choose. Your behavior is not a mirror of the other. It is a reflection of who you are at the core. Without self-awareness, you are giving away your power, your life, or reaction. With self-awareness, you take back your power, your life, and your intentions. The result, better relation, better decision, and better life, and peaceful life. You live in peace with yourself and with others. At the end, self-awareness is affecting us and affecting the other people. When you know yourself, you learn to trust yourself. You build the confidence, respect, and inner strength. Your reflection on your intention and your action. So you understand your impact, you learn from our experience and make better choice. Rely in our own judgment rather than the judgment of the other. We think independently, make wise decisions, and stay true to our value. The impact on the other, it's better relationship, better reactivity, and more understanding, inspiring and influence positively the other, and create positive environments. In other words, to be proactive rather than reactive. Alice asked the cat again, can I rediscover myself and to have a positive self-concept? The wise cat answered, yes, just follow the next video.